everyone, my name is Shanazi and I am his disciple. Whose disciple? God's disciple. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. Today I thought I would focus on a message that we have been studying in church the past couple weeks. And Pastor has been looking at the book of 2 Kings, chapter 7, verses 3 on to around 7 or so. And we have been looking at the story of these 4 leprous men. These men were sitting at the city gates of Samaria, and they were wondering why they were sitting there. They were hungry, they felt like they were going to die, and they're like, why are we sitting in the same place? If we go to Samaria, we are still going to die there. So they're like, you know what, let's leave and go to the Arameans. Even though the Arameans may possibly kill us, there's also a possibility that they won't. And so the message that he's been preaching has been focused on taking risks. And I thought that this is a great opportunity for me to now share that message with you. Because when we hear a message, it's not just for us to take it and sit and soak it up. It's for us to share it so that more and more people can be blessed and so that God can be given the glory. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about God. And it's about giving Him what is due to Him. So I thought that I would share this message with you so that you may learn a bit from it too, and maybe it may have a similar effect on you that it did on me, or maybe it can even have a greater effect. I apologize for the noise in my background. We have a lot of trucks where I live in Grenada. So yes, getting back to the point of this video, the message is all about taking initiative, stepping out, going as you're led to go by God, and not just sitting waiting for things to happen to you. Many times you speak to people and you hear them say, wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord, wait on the Lord. That's something I have said as well, you know. And there are times when you do need to wait. But there are also times when we need to take that step. When we need to realize that God has already done it. God has already put things in place. But it's up to us to now step out and grab hold of what He has in store for us. There's a story that I've always heard that I love. And it's the story about this man. And he's trapped out at sea. He is shipwrecked and he's about to die. And he prays and he asks God to send him to save him. He's like, God, please save me. I don't want to die out here. Save me. First he sees a boat, I think, pass. And the boat passes, they stop and they say, come on, get in. We're going to save you. And he's like, no. I'm waiting on the Lord. You can go along. I'll be fine. God is going to save me. So he's there again, still praying. Then another person shows up. I can't remember what the medium of transport was. But another person shows up. And again, he's like, no, go ahead. I'm waiting on God. Then you have a helicopter. I mean, come on, dude. A helicopter. A helicopter shows up. And he's like, no, keep flying. God is going to save me. What do you think happened to the man? He died. Yep. No shocker there, right? So he was spending all of his time waiting on God. When he met with God now, he's like, but God, you didn't save me. And God is like, I sent 3 people to save you. But you didn't take hold of that. You know, you didn't grab hold of the things that I placed in front of you. Instead, you chose to sit there waiting. Waiting on what? So we do that all the time. You know, we don't take that risk. That man could have taken a risk with any of those 3 people and been alive and safe. But he chose instead to take the safe route and wait. Again, we go back to the leprous men now. They had 3 options. One option was to sit at the city gates and just wait. Stay in their failure, according to the way Pastor put it. Remain in their failure. But nothing would happen if they remain in their failure except that they would die. Because there's no food there, nobody's going to come around to help them because they have leprosy, which during that time was like something that caused them to be outside the gates in the first place because they're not allowed to interact with other people. The second option was to chance it and go back into Samaria. But there's no food in Samaria. So even if they were to manage to get into Samaria, they would still starve and die. And that would be returning to their past, returning to times before, which is something we tend to do a lot. We go back to what's comfortable. We go back to what we're used to. And that is not what we need to do either. That's not taking a risk. that is just going back to something, even if we know it's not good for us, because they knew that if they went back there, they would still die. But then they had a third option. And that third option was to chance it with the Arameans, to take a risk. And they did. And the moment they got up and started to move, God also started to move. God sent those Arameans out of the city so that by the time these leprous men got there, the Arameans were gone. They got scared, thinking that people were coming to attack them, and they left. And so the leprous men were able to go into the city and eat and drink. And they were able to find treasures that they could store up and bring back to Samaria. So think about it. If they never got up, if they never took that risk, they would still be sitting there. Actually, they'll be dead. But you get my point. So today I'm encouraging you to take a risk. God may be telling you to do something that sounds scary, it seems impossible, but it's not. Not if you're going to it trusting in the Lord. Don't do things in your own strength. Don't just get up and do things randomly. Pray about it. Meditate on God's word. Fast if you need to, if you feel led to. But then do it. Take action. Because nothing changes until we do something to make that change. God has already put things in place, but we have to do our part as well. It's not as simple as just sitting there and waiting. So you want a job? Don't just say, God, I want a job. Please send me a job. And you don't send out any applications. You don't make any calls. You don't go around trying to get a job. Do you really want a job? No. You just want people to think you want a job. Or you say, God, I want a husband. God, I want a wife. But you stay home all the time. You don't go anywhere. Kind of talking to myself here. But anyway, you stay home all the time. You don't want to go anywhere. And you expect what? Somebody's going to knock on your door and say, hey, God sent me to be your husband. Or God sent me to be your wife. That's not how it works. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to take risks. We have to do things. And then God is going to do things. So I encourage you. I hope that this message touched you in the same way it touched me, or even in a more profound way, to listen to God and to go as He leads. Of course, always ensure that the voice that you're hearing is the Lord, because it's not always God. So pray, ask Him for confirmation that that is what He wants you to do. But don't shy away from taking a risk. Don't shy away from doing what He calls you to do just because it seems scary, or just because there's a possibility to fail. As Pastor said yesterday, you know it's God when there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to succeed or fail. If it's 100% sure you're going to fail, then no. Or if it's 100% sure you're going to succeed, that may be a bit too easy. But if there's a 50-50 chance that you can succeed, that's likely to be God. And go in trusting that God can and will come true for you if it is His will. So I hope that you were blessed by this. If you were, or if you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up so that I will know. I also encourage you to comment down below so that we can chat about it. I'm always looking forward to talking to you. And please subscribe if you haven't already so that you'll be notified of any future videos. I release videos every Tuesday, so if you subscribe, you will know as soon as they come out. Thank you so much for watching, and I do hope that you enjoy the rest of your day or night wherever you are. Bye!